Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours with Spence.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Nick is here.
Hey.
Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And this morning's show is being brought to you by Adamus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, and made possible by Telestream Wirecast software. What's today? April 12th.
Yep. All day.
All day. And again, if you want to have a higher resolution than on the default one, which is JustCast, then click on the Stream Up.
Wearing your safety glasses, Amnon?
Yeah, I am. Why?
For the we're on the construction site. Have to wear your safety glasses.
So, something from last week. You remember Andrew was saying that there was noise, and you heard it too, right, Nick?
Yeah.
You don't hear it now, do you?
No.
I found that it was on the reruns machine, and one of the video feeds was doing it. So I put a ground loop isolator on it, and it went away. And it was fine. Amazing what these things do.
I have a ground loop in my car.
Do I?
I have a ground loop in my car. I feel like getting a ground loop isolator.
No.
But it's sporadic. It's interesting. It's not a constant ground loop.
There we go. So what's going on?
Not much.
So you played all night?
No, I didn't play all night. But it's early. It's 9 o'clock.
The what?
I said, but it's early. And get to bed till almost 2.
It's just at that point, just stay up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad. 2 o'clock. Not for you.
Yeah. Well, no. Not when you're getting up at 8:45. It's not preferable.
Arnie's asking, what is a ground loop isolator?
I don't know how you're gonna be able to get into this.
Let me grab one.
It's a transformer that you put it on an audio line. It's what do they call it? A choke, Amnon? Oh, Amnon walked away. It's essentially a electronic device that will eliminate hum or noise that comes from a ground that you don't want in the circuit. So a ground loop isolator is a piece of electronics. Originally, they were just, like I said, just a transformer or a choke that would go on the audio cable. But sometimes you hear this hum. They call it a 60-cycle hum, which is just in the background. you can't seem to get rid of it. A lot of amplifiers suffer from this. That's a pretty sophisticated one, Amnon.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was. It's the same. I mean, I only bought one of these because it doesn't have the cables on it. The other ones come with the wires already.
Right. That's the kind I have.
So, but I think they're doing exactly the same thing. They do work. What brand is the one that I use? I have no idea. I go on eBay and I look for ground loop isolator and I sort it by price, and I get the cheapest one that's still the seller has good ratings. I mean, a ground loop isolator is a ground loop isolator, in my opinion. I mean, Mike may have different ideas.
No, I can assure you that it's not. There's a huge difference between the crappy $7 one on Amazon and the $20 one on Amazon.
I don't think I own one that costs $20. And
okay, well, in terms of lifespan,
I'm using probably about 10 of them between this machine and the reruns machine, and they work great. They do wonders. I mean, now sometimes you can.
these have come down in price.
And no demand.
These ones now are $8.
Yeah,
and I bought them. They were 15.
They said that you should be able to solve the problem without one of these if you have the time to look for it and you can modify things on the hardware, but in reality it's a whole lot easier to just take one of these, plug it in.
The more sophisticated a system you have, the harder it is to figure out what's doing.
Right.
And this
well, the problem is, in Amnon's case, his reruns machine is connected to his mixer, and his mixer is connected to his live machine.
Right.
So you've got two or three computers connected to each other. Good luck.
Right. So it's a lot easier to just plug one of these when you find the noise. But
the only problem is you can ground loop isolate stuff and create a ground loop. You can create a ground loop from too many ground loop isolators.
Correct. And in one case, I remember that there was still noise, and taking one out of the equation actually fixed it. Taking it out fixed it. So yes, you could overdo it.
In an electrical system, a ground loop is an unwanted current in a conductor containing 2 points that are supposed to be at the same potential, often to ground. Ground loops are the major cause of noise, hum, and interference in audio, video, and computer systems. They can also create electrical shock. That was the one we were most concerned with when building out networks, was that the ground between buildings, you would have if you weren't using fiber optic cable between buildings, you could potentially use copper in the early days of networking, and especially in telephony. And you had to have isolators, because you could theoretically, if you had a ground loop, you could send current across it, and a technician could be in a closet thinking he's working with low voltage telephony and get a shock.
The one that I use most of the time, hey Steve, is one that looks like this. It's like a cylinder, and it's got the wires on both sides, so you can plug it directly into the wires that you have. And on this one, it's sort of like kind of fancy. You can see the circuit on the inside. It's just, but that's what I buy most of the time. That's what I have most.
Ones are good, and then there's also the Boss Audio ones, which are like the big metal box. Better looking box. It's plastic. Those work just as well. I've got both of those.
Yep.
So essentially whatever one's cheaper at the time, pick up.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Oh, yeah, the one that you just showed, Amnon. That's the one that I've got. Although I don't really use hi-fi and sort of computer audio connections much anymore. Excuse me. But the one that you showed before, that's like the one we used to sell at Radio Shack, but they were very expensive.
This one here was probably less than $10, and what it says on it actually, it says noise suppressor isolation transformer.
Nice.
I've not seen one with a Perspex panel so that you can see the inner workings as they were. Not that you can see a lot working in there, but it's nice to see the components, I suppose. Makes them a bit flashier. You can show them off when your buff-orientated friends come around.
Yeah.
And when you're bragging about having a ground loop.
That's right. Yeah, and of course, as we know, audio is not important, so it's bound to impress them really greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Good morning. Noise is gone, Andrew. We're talking about ground loop isolators.
Where I live, we use the hum killer.
I've got
That's
a hum
actually a
generator.
The Radio Design Labs has their product is called the hum killer.
Yeah, I've got a hum generator. It's called a fan, noisy thing.
Yeah. White noise generator.
How's my mic sound today?
Pretty good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
As good as normal?
Not any difference.
Well, that's good then.
Why? What did you do?
Well, I'm still using the ATR 2100. Thanks very much for Mike and Amnon. But the machine that I'm using it on, I haven't been able to get working properly, and I've been so frustrated and fed up. But I finally gave it a good going and seeing to this week, and it's working again now. That's why I was a couple of minutes late. I thought I'd have plenty of time this morning to get it working before the show started, and I was going, "Come on, it's on in 2 minutes. Hurry up, finish what you're doing."
Yeah, you don't get your paycheck now.
I don't. Oh,
Yeah.
I was so looking forward to buying that bag of chips as well.
Have to talk to payroll about that.
Yeah.
So let's go to the first. Anybody wants to add anything right now?
I think we're good.
So
Only that I'm happy that I'm here.
YouTube announced its plans for an ad-free subscription-based service by way of an email sent out to YouTube partners. The email details the forthcoming option, which will offer consumers the choice to pay for an ads-free version of YouTube for a monthly fee. The additional monetization option requires partners to agree to updated terms on YouTube's Creator Studio dashboard, which notes that the changes will go into effect on June 15, 2015. So I think Ustream had that at one time. I don't know that they still have it.
So the reason for this is there's a new site out there. The name is escaping me right now, and they're pulling a lot of these YouTube people, and their whole motto is you pay like $5,000 or $6,000 a month to get access to this website, and you get new releases when the videos come out. It's free to watch stuff, but you see it on like a week or 2 week delay. So a lot of content creators are moving there, seeing stuff, and then users are paying $5,000 or $6,000 a month to get access to the website and seeing that content in real time.
Yeah.
So YouTube's trying to get a piece of the pie.
I'm wondering how that works as far as licensing. Because like on YouTube, if you have a third party piece of, like every week when I upload our show, they say that the opening theme is copyrighted by somebody, and I have to dispute it and send them the license and the link where I got the license. But if I don't, then that claim, they get money every time somebody's playing Computers 2K Now. And there's probably a bunch of money to be distributed to all these artists. How they doing it from, if they don't play ads and they only do it from what people are paying for access, I'm wondering if there's enough money to do it, or do they not
They probably
pay?
don't allow that music.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. Is that new site also
Andrew said it's called Vessel.
what?
That's it. It's called a Vessel.
Vessel? Oh, and but they don't. Do they do live stuff like YouTube, or you just
No.
store it to play like in the early
You
days?
start to play later, but that YouTube thing isn't live. That's just for pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're
No, well, I mean, I guess they're trying to go with like a Patreon model, pay to get access.
Andrew. Does Ustream still have that subscription that you don't pay for ads? A lot of people have.
Yeah, but Emma, you're kind of you're kind of comparing two different things.
Why?
The Ustream pay to not get ads, and this thing you're talking about are two completely different things.
No.
One is pay to get access. One is pay to get no ads.
No,
this
no.
Vessel website is
Use-
pay to get access.
Ustream had like $3 or $4 a month for the users, the audience, to not get ads when they're watching.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that this YouTube and this Vessel thing is you pay to get access if there's no free plan.
Oh, I see.
With this Vessel, you have to pay to get early access to the videos. You can't watch the videos with ads at the same time. The way
I
to watch
see.
the videos when
Okay.
they get released are, I guess, according to the website, $2.99 a month.
Okay.
And it's not to see it without ads; it's to see it in real time. You can see it delayed. So that's how that's working.
But
It's a
but that's not
subscription
what
service.
YouTube is proposing.
Well, the way you described it, that's what it sounded like.
From what I was reading, they're saying that users can, let's see, ad-free subscription-based service, but yeah,
It's when you say subscription, it's like, are you
You
getting
pay-
access to something that
you
regular
pay
people
every
aren't getting
month.
access to?
a certain amount.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they're talking just ad free then.
yeah, ad-free. Because
that's a
it's
good
not
idea if they can make it affordable.
it's not for a specific
Okay.
content.
Yeah.
It's across YouTube. Yeah.
Well,
There
if they
was
can make it affordable.
Yeah, I don't know. There was never a mention anywhere of how much they think about doing it, or I couldn't find it.
A lot of services, for like one I'm thinking of is Twitch TV. They have it's called Twitch TV Turbo, and you get ad free. And this is on the user side. Let's say this is for the users, not the content creators, correct?
Correct. Yeah, this is
So
for
this
the
is-
user side.
So the users are paying this, but it's something like $9
Yeah.
a month. They got access to this, and it's something that, just in my opinion, not worth getting. The problem is YouTube is going to probably box themselves out of the market by making it $10 or $15
Yeah.
a month, which, at that case, you'll just keep running ad block.
It's just interesting that they're trying to come up with new ways.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I agree. That's probably because they see competition coming in and doing certain things, and they say, well, we need to do that. Competition is good. Are we out there yeah. That's weird. CPU usage just went down to 50% from 8.
See, Andrew's saying YouTube is going to block ad block like Hulu. How are they going to do that, Andrew? Tell you if you're running ad block to turn it off before you can watch.
Huh? Andrew, why don't you come in?
I mean, I stay away from sites that do that.
That do have what?
That block the ad block
Oh.
stuff. I don't run ad block on YouTube a majority of the time. But when I'm browsing for something, like looking for something specific, I'm not running ad block because I may click on 15 videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure as hell not going to watch 15, 30-second ads to try to figure out what I'm looking for. Now, I watch people on YouTube every day, and I don't run ad block when I watch their content because I want to support them with, the fraction of a penny that they get from my view. But for me, browsing, imagine you looking for a tutorial on YouTube and clicking, 10, 15 videos and seeing a 30-second ad and then the last video is the one that you want. And you watch 10 minutes worth of ads to get your video.
Spence was saying, how about content-free, all ads? I'll bet you that if they created, like, the ads channel, there will be people that will go there and just keep watching it for hours. There will be people that will watch it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Well, look at how I was watching Amnon, one of the Bill Whittle talks the other day. Did you see the recent one that was on C-SPAN?
Mm-mm.
No. Well, he gets up and he talks about how media plays such a big role in capturing the audience and all this stuff. And he said, "Did anybody ever fly on Virgin America Airlines?" I never flew on Virgin. They don't fly to my city, so it's hard to do that. But he said their safety video is so good that he went, for the first time he flew on them when they had this new video, he couldn't wait to get home so he could watch it. And he watched it 2 or 3 times. It was 2 o'clock in the morning when he got home. He still watched it 2 or 3 times. It was a commercial on how to fasten your seatbelt. But it was so good, so well done, that he couldn't wait to watch it. So if you had good commercials like the all Super Bowl commercial channel or something like that, people would watch it because it's an art form.
Yeah.
Not the one where they're selling vinyl replacement windows necessarily, but what's the new one? Since it was a DirecTV, they dropped that Rob Lowe series of ads. Did you hear about that?
Why?
Rob Lowe would come out and say, "I'm Rob Lowe, and I'm deadbeat Rob Lowe." That whole thing. Well, they dropped it because so many people were complaining about it, as they were offended by it. I think far too many people are offended by things, but they dropped it. But the new one is the woman with her talking horse. It's an art form. It's not, you don't care what the product is. It's just funny to watch.
So
like the original GoDaddy commercials, how silly they were. They had nothing to do with domain names. So.
Spence, is the microphone on your right side?
No, it's right in front of me.
Oh, interesting.
Why?
Because when you just turn your head a little bit to the left, it's...
Fades.
Yeah, so I thought that maybe it was on the right side. All right. Who's an AT&T customer? A lot of people, right? Employees at 3 call centers in Mexico, Colombia, and the Philippines sold hundreds of thousands of AT&T customer records, including names and social security numbers, to criminals who attempted to use the customer information to unlock stolen mobile phones. The U.S. Federal Communication Commission said AT&T has agreed to pay a $25 million civil penalty, which is the largest related to data breach and customer privacy in the FCC history. And I don't remember, but why would a cell company need your social security number? I don't remember having to give social security number to Verizon, but maybe I did.
For a credit check. They have to establish credit. That's the original reason why.
You know, when I was reading this, I was thinking in the in business, when you accept credit cards, like when you order something and somebody the vendor on the other side is asking you for the credit card, and then they ask you for the CVV number, the 3 numbers or the 4 numbers on American Express. You can lose your privilege to accept credit cards if you keep a record of that number in your software, or you write it down on something that you keep record of.
How would they know?
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, you can go and kill somebody, and unless they know that you did it, you get away with it, sure. But legitimate, I mean, here, Verizon can get audited, and they probably do, by their internal people. I used to keep in my software, when I have a customer that pays with a credit card, there's a place for the CVV2 number. And in the early days, it was there. It's never used again except the first time. And one time the girl from the bank was here doing an upgrade or whatever, and she said, "What? You know you're not supposed to keep these numbers." And I said, "No, I didn't know." Looks like no, we're still out. Okay, the stream light in Ustream.
Just go through it. I mean, the
All right.
shows are cool.
She was saying you're not supposed to keep these numbers. She saw them, and she said you can use your merchant license. So I went ahead and I removed all of them, and everything keeps on working like it's supposed to. So here it is. People asking you for Social Security. So they want to do it, let's say, for credit check. Fine, do it. But don't keep a record of it in your records. You did the credit check. Erase it.
Yeah, but they're not erasing it.
The what?
They're probably not erasing it.
They obviously they don't. But because there is no rule that you cannot keep these numbers, probably. But they should have that kind of rule. That no, you can't keep it on your computer. There's no reason for you to have it. Get it, do what you need to do, discard it.
What's a social insurance number?
The who?
A social insurance number?
Social insurance.
It's not called.
It's in the chat. Alan said.
Yeah, I see that.
Here, it's where he is. It's social insurance number.
He lives in the U.S. I think. Oh, Canada. That's what it is. Okay. So social insurance number, and then Britain and the U.S. have social security number. Numbers.
So there are ways that we can be protected, and this is great because if somebody breaks in and gets records of credit cards anywhere and they have the CVV2 number, they're home free.
See ya.
But if they don't have it, I mean, they still have information, but they're missing a piece of the puzzle, which is great. Why can't they do the same thing for that? I don't know. But no, when I stopped telling the story and I looked here, Nick, the light on the stream light on Wirecast on the switching machine turned yellow. Still only using 1200, but we're still getting out on Ustream, correct? Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not on Ustream here.
Wouldn't worry about it.
Shoot. I mean on
No.
StreamUp, not Ustream. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we're good on stream up.
Yep, I'm not connecting to StreamUp. So I guess anybody that was on StreamUp went to JustCast.
Yep, they move.
Interesting.
Now, and something a little bit of a different note, but you're talking about credit card and debit cards.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people are trying to do now, starting to do businesses from their home and process credit cards and stuff like that. You're kind of in that same stuff. What do you use to process your credit cards? What service?
What am I? You mean as far as the company behind it that collects
Yeah,
it?
the one that's
My
doing
bank.
the transactions.
My bank.
Your bank. Okay, so you're not using like a big, company to do it.
No, I'm using my bank. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious, because that's a problem for a lot of people. When you talk about processing credit cards, people say you use something like Square, but their rate is extremely high. PayPal's is high as well.
What do you call high?
Their percentage.
Yeah. What is high?
Let me see what Square's percentage is. I thought it was
I mean, I'm
very high compared to everybody else. What are you paying?
I think I'm
2.5%?
paying 3%, but that's it. There's no fees,
Yeah, see, it's like 2.5%, 3% with fees. I'm pretty sure.
and then you're paying all kind of little fees per
Probably.
transaction, per this, per that. Yeah.
And I don't think PayPal's is much better.
Good question from Tony. Tony Cortina says, "Why does Social Security card say not to be used for identification?" Absolutely. I mean, they say that and they try that, but people are not paying attention to. I mean, it's not that people don't pay attention to it. I guess companies that are already geared to index, to identify a user, a client by Social Security, they don't change it. I mean, it's an easy way to be able to identify you because it's a unique number. You think, okay, well, why can't they go by the phone number? Well, phone numbers change, and you don't always remember to let people know that it changed. But whenever the time comes and you have a support question or you have a problem or whatever, and they want to know who you are, say, oh yeah, but my phone number changed. It used to be that. Now it's that. I don't see why anybody would need to keep your Social Security number on record. Financial institutions, maybe because they have to file taxes for you. They have to report income. Your employer will need to have it so they can pay taxes for it, so things like that.
Yeah.
But
now the reason I brought up this credit card thing is because my boss is looking to switch. His rate is something like 3 or 4%, and you may say, well, that's not that high. But the transactions that he's doing are $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a swipe.
Yep.
That adds up. I mean, you're talking
Right.
$150, $200 per swipe. So the interesting thing is, so Square and PayPal are both like 2.75% on swipes, but where they get you is the key in.
right.
Things. The key in transactions from PayPal and Stripe are both 3.5% plus 15 cents per key in.
Right. That's because the fraud rate
the fraud
is
protection.
higher.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So it's I don't know who the best to use is. They're both the same.
The reason why I'm using my bank is because that's how we started back in '81. Bless you, Spence.
Well, it's interesting that they offer that.
A lot of banks do
Yeah. Well,
for businesses.
Is it a bank or a credit union?
No, it's a bank.
It's a bank. Okay.
Actually, the credit union does not offer it
Yeah, that's what I
because
was.
I wanted to move our account from our bank to the credit union, and
Yeah.
this was a couple of years ago, and they said they don't do businesses to begin with.
Our
but-
credit
but
union's actually
the-
updating
and-
their cards. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's so. Our credit union's updating their cards from Visa to Mastercard, and they're gonna have that chip or whatever in them.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. We'll see how well. There's so many places that don't even have that thing. The little tap to pay thing. Seems like it's just gonna be a big waste of time.
NFC.
Yeah, like I mean, I rarely see it, but any of the places I go to buy stuff and use a debit card,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not available.
It's mad over here. Everywhere you go's got it.
See, I wish a lot of places had it. I mean, like the gas pumps don't have it. That's like the only time I use it is when I go to get gas, so I can pay at the pump.
It's like chip and pin. We've had chip and pin in the UK for years. You're only just about adopting it now in the US, aren't you?
Yeah, and well, the problem is smaller businesses don't want to update. They don't want the expense of updating their reader.
Yeah,
You
the
got to get a whole
terminals.
new reader. Exactly.
It does make it more convenient, though.
It does, yeah.
So the reason I use the bank is not just because of and it is lower anywhere you look at, because I had a lot of people that would call and say, we can save you money by doing this, and it's only 1 point some percent, blah, blah, blah. And they would come over and go through the last 2 or 3 statements and say, I don't know how your bank is doing it. This is more than it cost us. But the other reason is because when you go with your bank and you can tell your boss that the money is there right there and then. When you go through a third party, it takes a few days before the money is actually in your account and you can use it.
It's called. I think it's called like a virtual merchant or something like that.
I don't know, but if it's not the bank that does it, then that company also makes money from having the money in their account for a few days. They make money with it, and then some of them take 5-6 days to transfer it to your account.
It's a big con, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, it's all electronic. No money's changed hands. anywhere.
Absolutely.
So once they download the information overnight and it's uploaded to the bank where it's coming from, it should be instant. It should be there the following day.
Absolutely should be.
But each day they get a little percentage or a quarter of a percent or whatever it might be. So it all revolves around greediness.
Well, they got to make money. That's what it comes down to. Them just passing the money along. They don't make any money.
Well, they make loads of money because they're not paying any interest in the banks anymore.
Well, true. But if they
what, percent interest or some stupid amount?
Yeah, and it's not only that. I mean that it's cheaper, but you support your local bank. And I'd rather pay my bank than pay some company in I don't know where.
Yeah.
So, but it's been working okay for years and years and years, and it's kind of hard to switch.
So what do you use? You use software to do it?
Yeah. Actually, the way that my ISP software generates a file with all the correct information, and then I go to the service that the bank is using, which is something sys. I can't remember the name of the thing. It's just a bookmark, and it's on the web.
File.
And you go and you upload the file, and then they send you an email and say, "Yep, everything's fine," or "This and this was declined," or whatever.
That's cool.
The pain in the butt to do it that way is, though, which I understand you don't have to do when you are going through a third party, is every 3 months they want to scan the network and see that it's not vulnerable. So this is no big deal. But once a year, you have to go through something that takes me about 2 hours. It's a long questionnaire. What do you have this in place, and do you have that in place, and what happens if this happens, and what happens? I mean, it's a pain in the you know what to go through it. And the thing that drives me crazy the most about it is sometimes you don't remember how you answered it last year.
Yeah.
And you want to be sort of like the same, or you don't. After a year, you don't remember really what does that mean, and you call them the service that does the questionnaire, and they would tell you how to answer it.
Nice.
And it blows my mind, So where is the security here? It's just some way for somebody to make money, because if I don't go through that, it's going to cost me $9 a month extra.
That's just money.
It's just money. It's just like back 30 years ago when I got my state inspection license to inspect cars here. I went to a class when they came up with the emission tests. And we were told a car you can check it and fail it 5 times. If they fail 5 times, then they get a waiver until next year. I mean, they have to go and tune it up and do things that you tell them they need to do. But if they can't and it's still polluting, they get a waiver. Then what good is it? So I stood up.
Back then, did you pay for a failed test?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Wait a second. You paid the first time, and then you could go to the same station again and again and again, and you don't pay until you pass, and then you pay for the sticker itself. That's how it used to be.
Yep. So it was just a way of.
It's just a way
fly.
to make. I remember standing up and asking. I mean, I was young and stupid. Ask the instructor, says, so are we just trying to make money here, or are we trying to clean our air? And he said,
we'll get back to you with that question.
I mean, he was annoyed.
Hey,
So-
I have to leave at 10. Have you had a chance to?
You
pull
want to do
down
you want to do the specials?
Yeah. So if you have to.
Oh
upload
shoot,
them, though, right?
I didn't do it yet. Here,
I actually have something we can burn a couple of minutes of up talking about while you go do that.
go
State
ahead.
expense.
Go ahead. I'm gonna go and do it.
Nick, have you started watching the new? Well, probably not new. It says it was 2014, but there's a series on Netflix called Halt and Catch Fire.
No, I have not. I haven't even heard of it.
Interesting show. I just stumbled across. I just every so often I'll just kind of browse around to see what's new on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a show that goes back to the early days of the personal computer. It's about an IBM sales guy that leaves IBM
Yeah.
under a cloud and goes off to work for some company down in Texas and convinces one of the engineers there to reverse engineer the IBM PC BIOS and then try to build their own PC. So what reminded me of this thing is it's a drama. I mean, but I watched the first episode. But what reminded me of it this morning was that they're getting sued by IBM. The guy actually tells IBM that we're doing this, and they come in to sue them, and it's all preemptive to try to take away the lawsuit. But IBM comes in with a pile of lawyers And what they figure out is if they can prove that they have an engineer on staff that came up with this stuff on their own without ever reverse engineering, that they would be able to build it. So they go out and find this young woman who's about to graduate from college with a degree in computer science, who's like a real rogue programmer type thing, and they're interviewing her, doing the discovery for the potential lawsuit, and the lawyer is asking her questions. So have you ever in the past reverse engineered an IBM computer? And she's like, and you can see him on camera shaking his head. He goes, oh no, I never have. And then, have you ever in the past been engaged in reading the BIOS from an IBM? And he's shaking his head like this, and she's going, oh no. It's so far, after the first episode, it actually caught my attention, and it was well done.
It's interesting. I'm looking at it right now on Google. It's an AMC show. AMC is killing it right now with their shows.
Yeah, they are.
The Better Call Saul. I don't know if you're watching that.
I am.
That's a great show.
Great show.
I'm surprised that I missed this show. It was from 2014.
Yeah, but I don't know what AMC is talking. I mean, they've got Walking Dead. They had Breaking Bad. They got Better Call Saul. They got this show. They're killing it right now. They got to be America's #1 expanding television network. They got to make money hand over fist.
All right, it's in place.
Walking Dead had some of the largest viewer numbers for any cable channel ever.
Better Call Saul had the largest.
Premiere?
The largest, yeah, but it was like the largest like prequel premiere, like based off of another series or something like that. But Better Call Saul is a great show, and you can watch it for free online if you've got a cable subscription. I found that out on AMC's website.
Interesting.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
All right, let me see.
But there's ads.
I'm refreshing here. Here we go, April 12th.
Okay, I'll just get my handkerchief ready.
So, I have to take off at 10 for continuing
Nick,
activities related to my son's wedding in a few weeks. So, all right. So, Computer Tuesday Now weekly specials for April 12th, 2015. We start with Office Depot, and they have an HP Envy 5530 printer, copier, scanner for $89.99. That's $40 off the regular price. We've got Lexar 16 gig USB thumb drives for $6.99 each, 32 gig for $13.99 each, that's $26 off, and 64 gig for $28.99, that's $41 off the regular price. Why don't they just lower the price? They're always on sale. It's just, whatever. Brother MFC 470 DW, this is on sale a lot, but it's a good deal for an entry-level printer, scanner, fax, copier, inkjet, automatic two-sided printing, $59.99, save $40. They have a couple of good deals on laptops. One is a Dell 14-inch laptop for $229.99. That's $100 off. Includes Office 365 for a year, 14-inch screen. They've got an Intel Core i3 HP machine that's a touchscreen for $379.99, save $170. HP Stream 7-inch HD tablet. Again, a Windows 8.1 tablet for $99 with Office 365. And that's a regular price, apparently. That's not even on sale. They've got Samsung Galaxy Tab 4 7-inch for $179.99, save $20. I know sometimes we pound on Netgear, but some of their low-end products are ones that I continue to use and install for people. One of them is the wireless N 4-port router and wireless access point. Its regular price is $44.99. I've installed several of these. They keep working. I have one in my house that's been operating for years.
That's the one I have.
Yeah, it's a great little router. It's not any of these fancy AC dual band. This just works, and it's low enough price that if you use it for a couple of years and it does get fried, hey, buy another one. It's better than paying $200 for one of the super exotic Wi-Fi. It's really a system, but
they look cool, Spence.
they do look like drones. Look like you could hang it from the ceiling and have it just look like a drone.
And they don't
flying
have
around
an
the room.
antenna sticking out, but they still work as wireless.
Yeah,
The
they have a-
Asus Nighthawk has like 17 antennas sticking out of it. It's
yeah, it's
insane.
crazy. Some of them are just, I think they're just designed to look exotic.
Yeah, I guarantee people buy them for that reason too.
But the Netgear router, $44.99, and you can upgrade to the N750, which is a dual band router for $89.99. NeatDesk desktop scanner and digital filing system for PC and Mac, $349.99. It's 50 off. This is one of the very well respected paperless office scanning systems that's out there. That and I think it's Fujiscan is the other one. HP 2540 inkjet DeskJet printer, wireless copy and scanner, $59.99, save $20. Couple of monitors on sale. Samsung 21.5-inch LED for $119.99. That's 30 off. 27-inch Acer monitor for $179.99. Save $70. And finally, great deal on a laser printer from Canon. This is the LBP 6030W wireless printer, monochrome printer for $49.99. That's $110 off the regular price. That is all at Office Depot, Office Max. At Staples, we have a Dell Touchscreen with an AMD A6 processor. This has got as a 15.6-inch machine, $349.99, $200 off the regular price. They've got an Asus Intel dual-core laptop, 11.6-inch screen. This would be considered like a Chromebook for PC. What would you call it? A Winbook?
A netbook or a notebook?
Yeah, but this is $179, $70 off.
Is it full Windows or is it RT?
It's a full. It doesn't say convertible, so it is a laptop form factor.
Cool.
How much RAM did you say it had?
I'm sorry, what?
How much RAM did you say it had?
It's got 2 gig of RAM and 32 gig hard drive. I guess it's
Pretty low, isn't it?
It's low, but it's for what it's used for.
A surfing machine.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need much. And it's probably a scaled down OS, I would guess. It's not going to be the full. It doesn't really say. It just says Windows 8.1. But it's $179.99, save $70. I think a lot of these are loss leaders just to get you in because it comes with 1 year of Microsoft OneDrive. So after the first year, they want you to sign up. But it comes with 500 gig of Asus web storage for 2 years. Again, they want you to sign up at the end of that. So I'm sure they're selling these to try to get subscriptions. And same for Office 365. But hey, for $179.99, use it for a year or two. You drive over it with your car accidentally, and you buy another one. So I hate to be sarcastic, but hey.
I didn't hear you say that.
No. We've got an HP desktop PC with an AMD A6. That's a quad core Windows 8 PC, $399.99. That's $80 off. 8 gig of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. Couple of monitors on sale. 23.6-inch LED monitor from Samsung for $119.99, save $70. And we've got a full HD. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up on the ad here. There's a 21.5-inch LED monitor for. I'm sorry, I got backwards on the prices. It's $119.99 for the 21.5, and $149.99 for the 23.6. Western Digital backup drives, portable backup drives, 1 terabyte for $69.99, save 10. 2 terabytes for $99.99, save 30. SanDisk Ultra Class 10 SD cards, 16 gig for $17.99, 32 gig for $29.99. Western Digital MyBook desktop hard drives, 3 terabytes for $119.99. 4 terabytes for $139.99. If you want the cloud version of these, it's 2 terabytes for $149.99, 3 terabytes for $169.99. HP OfficeJet Pro 6830, $119.99, save $60. Slightly upscale model of that for $129.99 is to $86.10. Canon Maxify wireless all-in-one printer for $149.99, save $150. And this is unusual. We have iPads on sale, $100 off. Where did this come from? I don't remember ever seeing anything on sale from Apple except maybe $10 here, $20 there, whatever. But the Apple iPad Air, this is the, let's see if it's what version, 16 gig version for $399, 100 off. The iPad Mini 3, this is also 16 gig for $299, that's 100 off. And finally, the Toshiba Encore 2 10-inch Windows 8 tablet with 32 gig of storage for $229.99, save $20. That's all at Staples. And finally at Best Buy. Again, sales on Apple products. What's going on here? Apple Mac Mini 4 gig, 4 gig storage, 500 gig hard drive. Who did we lose? Steve, it's you and me. What happened here?
Nick's just typed in chat. I have to head out. Have a good week. Oh,
Nick is gone, but Amnon's still there. Sorry, I didn't see his picture.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're there. So Mac Mini for $469.99, say $30. Asus Mimo 7-inch tablet, Intel Atom 4 quad-core processor, 16 gig of memory for $89.99. And then a real entry-level tablet, your Digiland 7-inch 8 gig for $49.99. They've got the Asus Transformer 10-inch tablet. This is a tablet with a detachable keyboard, 32 gig of memory, Intel Atom quad-core processor, $269.99, save $30. HP 23-inch LED monitor for $149.99. Now, this is the monitor for you, Amnon. I think you should go out and get this today. Samsung 28-inch 4K LED monitor. Right? $549.99, $50 off. Hey, 4K.
Hey, $50 off. That's amazing.
Hey, it's I don't think I have anything that would drive 4K.
Get two, one for each eye.
J5 USB 3.0 video adapter. That actually says multi-adapter, so it is a docking station. It's got video, it's got USB, it's got Ethernet for $62.99. $17 off. That's a great deal. Logitech 2.1 channel speaker system. This has got a right and a left speaker plus a subwoofer and a remote control pad. $34.99, save $15. Seagate personal cloud storage, 3 terabytes, external USB and Ethernet hard drive for $149.99, save $20. Belkin AC750 dual band wireless router for $79.99. Motorola, this I believe, no, I didn't, I think it's a 6141.
That's
so
what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 6141.
That's
so
expensive.
It is capable of 300 megabits plus.
That's expensive.
The $99.99 is a lot for this one?
Yep.
All right, scratch that one. And finally, we have a high-end AMD machine. This is the Asus AMD FX processor, 8 gig of memory, 2 terabyte hard drive. This is the system only. That's the tower and the keyboard and mouse. With $679.99, 20 off. That's all.
It's weird that it doesn't have operating system.
It doesn't have an operating system?
I don't see.
Yeah, it's write your own.
It's interesting.
Comes with a tutorial on how to write it. You should watch that Halt and Catch Fire, Aaron. Amnon. It's an interesting show.
Which one?
Halt and Catch Fire.
Okay.
It's available on Netflix, but it's an AMD series. I don't know if it's on AMD on demand, but I just stumbled across it on. I never heard of it before. But well done, and the technology that they talk about is not nonsense. It's actually it's factual. It's well researched. And there's another show that's on Netflix. If nobody's ever seen it, it's about Atari and the demise of Atari and how they came out with they just got to the point where they collapsed in the early 80s. And the rumor was that they took all of the ET video games that were not selling and being returned, and they buried them in a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico. And that's the basis for the documentary was, are those cartridges really buried there?
And they actually found them. Somebody found them.
They did actually find
news reports that they found them in, what do you call it? Fans and collectors were going loony over trying to get hold of a copy.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's called, sorry, I'm trying to find the actual name of it here, because it's kind of it really has two names. But yeah, it was a good story because it talked about when they wrote the program, the history of Atari, history of the gaming industry in general. So it was pretty good. All right, with that, I have to take off.
All right, Spence.
All right, have a good week, everybody.
Take it easy.
Right.
Thanks, Spence. Have a great week.
So you're just gonna jump out the window and go back there to work?
Oh yeah.
Which crane are you operating?
All of them.
Oh,
remote controls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Careful on that scaffolding on the way down.
Virtual reality. All right, thanks guys. See ya.
All right, Spence. Thanks. See ya. All right. So let's see what else we have here. It's me and you, Steve, and we don't have to stay till 11 anyway.
It's just us two, but anyone else can call in if you'd like. It's 919-518-9773, or if you have a computer and Skype, you can connect Computers 2K Voice. Please call in. Your call is important.
Jason, what do you mean you can't call in? Are you talking about coming in the Hangout or call in on the phone? Oh. So why did you say you couldn't?
I was just being stupid again.
Oh.
You're trying to confuse us.
Indeed.
Well, I
How's it
came
going?
to the Hangouts last night, well, early hours of this morning for me, and there was nobody here. Everybody had gone out drinking, partying. I see my
Sounds like a
invite
plan.
got lost again. It's
Yeah.
one of the few nights that I was up at like 1 o'clock in the morning here thinking, oh, they'll be around having Hangouts in America. Let's go and say hello to everybody. And it was just Mike there. He said everyone else has gone out.
Yeah, there was nobody in the Hangout. You're right.
Oh, well.
So what's up, Jason?
Oh, not much. I was just in the neighborhood. Thought I'd call and say hey.
Hey.
Hi there.
Exactly. Hi there.
So let's see. What do you think? Here, I think some companies are following British Telecom. You might think that DSL lost the race to cable and fiber internet years ago, but Alcatel-Lucent Bell Labs is working on a host of projects to extract more and faster bandwidth out of existing technologies. The company's GFast technology aims to get hundreds of megabytes over telephone lines. Other projects are aiming to boost speeds over fiber and cell networks as well. Steve, what do you hear about that GFast on your side?
There's not been a great deal about it. There was some news reports saying that they'd managed to get X number of speed connection out of it.
Right.
And that's been about it. I haven't seen anything else over here regarding it. I've seen more that they've been talking about it in America than they have in England, which seems really stupid.
Interesting.
There was the one news report, and then it's all died again. It's just saying, "Oh wow, look what we've managed to do," and then nothing.
It's kind of like, those reports you keep hearing about batteries. They keep saying, oh, we've got, a procedure now that'll give us, 10 10 times more battery capacity with half the charging time, and you know, you
Well,
never see it anywhere. You see a report like that every few months, but nothing ever comes to the consumer market.
Well, speaking of that, last week I saw there was a report that they're going to be using aluminium now instead of lithium, and it will charge in about a minute. And it's, the capacity is only about what was it? They said 2 volts, I think, and they want to get up to 5 or 6 volts. But at the moment it's only about 2 volts, so they need to work on it. But you imagine charging it in a minute. That would be awesome for electric vehicles, everything.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be 5 years before we even see a hint of it coming to the consumer market.
Yeah. Exactly.
But if I do hear anything about this GFast, I'll make a note of it and then let you know. But at the moment, it seems to be the US is talking more about it than over here.
Well, there were the story that we reported about 2 or 3 weeks ago said that now they have a way to get high speed to every house that has copper in, that British Telecom is planning on it to bring it to everybody. So I thought
planning being the operative word.
Oh well. There is another story here of people that using Google Drive. Depending on how you've configured the device, your backup drive may have been indexed by Google, making some seriously personal information freely available online to anyone who knows what they're looking for.
Uh-oh.
Using a few simple Google searches, SEO Steve Reagan discovered thousands of personal records and documents online, including sales receipts with credit card information and tax documents with social security numbers. In all cases, the files were exposed, and this is what you need to pay attention here, because someone used a misconfigured device acting as a personal cloud, or FTP, file transfer protocol, was enabled on their router. So first of all, you need to go into your router and disable FTP if it has one. Because you really, what do you say, Jason?
Well, that's two different things. What's FTP on your router got to do with your Google Drive?
I have no idea. But also the key here, and I couldn't tell you what to do about this, is misconfigured device acting as a personal cloud.
Well, that's their excuse, and they're sticking to it.
Well, I mean, this is serious. You think that you're just putting stuff on your backup drive and Google indexes it?
Oh, wait a minute. No, this is okay. Okay, this is saying it's indexing backup drives. It's not saying it's exposing the Google Drive, I don't think.
Yeah, but
I mean the article now.
If they index it, they may be exposing it. So, I mean, they do something with it. They don't index it just for, hey, let's index it.
Right, yeah. Credit cards, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. They're talking about, where'd it go? Create backups. Shoot, where the heck did it go? But I think what they're talking about is when you have your own personal cloud type thing. I did that for a while. I tried it for a while. There's some free services that allow you to take your drive on your local computer at your house or work or whatever, and lets you expose it to the internet so that you can log in remotely somewhere else and access your data. And I think that's what they're talking about when you do that.
That it's misconfigured. I mean,
which makes sense. Yeah.
one of the drives that was on sale today was you could buy the quote unquote cloud version, personal cloud version.
Right.
So apparently it's got software there to make it available on the net, but that's got nothing to do with Google.
Right. Yeah. They're just saying that Google
Unless
is-
they get into that drive, because you can get into that drive. You know how they crawl in, and
right.
yeah,
Yeah. If you leave the permissions, to open, then
Right.
the Google bot will just come along and, oh, here's something else to index. I'll look and
Yep.
see what's on it and index it, and there you go.
so watch out.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have young audience, but here's another story here. A 14-year-old middle school student in Holiday, Florida, was arrested this week and charged with an offense against a computer system and unauthorized access, which is a felony. The
Yikes.
student reportedly used an administrator password to log into a teacher's computer and change the background image to a photo of two men kissing. The students also revealed his secrets after he was caught. The password was the teacher's last name, and the teacher had typed it in full view of the students. The student said many other students use these administrators' password, their teacher's last name, so they can screen share and video chat with other students. The student was briefly held in a nearby detention center, and a county sheriff warned that other teenagers caught doing the same thing will face the same consequences. What about the teacher that's using his last name as the
Yeah.
password?
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Not
He's
only
just
that,
as
what
much to
about
blame,
typing
or
it
she's
out
just as much to
so somebody can look over your shoulder while you're typing it?
I mean, apparently the teacher did it, and he was probably projecting it on a big monitor or on a screen or something. He said that he was typing it in full view. That's how he got the password. Jeez. It is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. And I sure hope that student does not get convicted. A 14-year-old to do something like this. I mean, you can't help yourself. I mean, here's the teacher is giving you the key.
Yeah.
And to get a felony against you at 14? Come on. Not for this. But anyway. What else? Nothing? I got nothing.
Yeah, at least teachers didn't, type their passwords in front of us when I
Yeah.
was a kid in school.
Jason,
No,
what's...
you-
Go
You
ahead.
had to actually take the book back in those days.
Yeah.
That was actually stealing and doing something wrong. Glancing over somebody's shoulder or happening to see the password as it's typed in. Well, you can't unsee something you've seen, can you?
No. So, Jason, what's new in Unix world?
Unix world? I guess containers and stuff like that for virtualization. So instead of I don't know how much you know about virtualization, but there's usually two kinds with like fully VMs that are fully virtualized that have a full set of hardware that is virtualized for you to run your OS on, like ESXi does, VMware. But there's also now, well, in Linux it's called containers, but in FreeBSD it's called jails, where you have a lighter set of virtualization that allows you to virtualize the machine without having to virtualize the entire computer hardware. So all you need to do is virtualize, a hard disk, an IP address, and a little bit more, and it makes things just faster. So you can, pump out VMs or virtual machines a lot quicker these days, and things called containers that have, or I'm sorry, Dockers that let you have containerized applications or servers, kind of canned and ready to go, and you just add a little bit of configuration to them, and bam, off you go with a server to have a web server, or mail server, or FTP server, or Hadoop, or whatever it is you're doing these days. And it's I've been playing with that a little bit.
And all running on one machine.
Running on one host machine. But actually, I found another virtualization platform called Proxmox, which actually blends the two of them together in one platform. So it uses KVM for your fully virtualized machines and OpenVZ for your containerized ones. So you can have, the best of both worlds in one platform. And also they've managed to get finally a web, interface that you can use to manage it instead of having to install a separate Windows instance somewhere to management like you do with like you typically had to do with VMware. You had to install a Windows VM to run the vSphere product to manage the ESXi server and vCenter and all that stuff, which was a pain in the butt most of the time. But it's pretty slick stuff. I tried it for a little bit here, and really like it. Just don't have anything to run it on at the current time, or else I'd play with it more. But
you mean
pretty neat.
When
pretty
you
neat
say
stuff.
When you say you don't have anything to run it, you're talking about a powerful enough machine?
Yeah. I don't have a machine that's powerful enough machine that it's got the virtualization, like a Core i5 or AMD with the virtual the hardware virtualization on the chip, which you typically want to be able to run these things. You could run it on a machine without that, but it'll just be horribly slow at best. But I'm looking to pick one up here next weekend maybe, and maybe I'll start playing with it some more. But it's pretty slick stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you're talking about different servers and running them all under one machine. But
right.
if something hiccups on the hardware side, then all the servers go down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and they so like Proxmox and VMware, you can run them in clustered mode where you have, if you have two of them, they can work together, and if you have a shared storage to run your VMs on, like an NFS server or clustered file system somewhere, you can, they can, if one host dies, the other one, can pick it up and run the VM on the other host and things like that. Which, again, I probably won't get that fancy, but still, it's pretty neat to be able to run, your virtualization. And if you do the containers, obviously you can have a lot more of them because there's less hardware to virtualize, and therefore the VMs take up less size on the disk.
Oh. Dr. John is asking, can anybody give me the name of a good app to make the Windows 8.1 more user-friendly? Are you talking about the start button and stuff? Yeah. Speaking of desktop. With Windows 8.1, when I get a machine here with one of those, I always put Start 8.
Yeah, that's what I've got on my machine, Windows 8.1. I put Start 8 on it. It makes it so much more Windows 7-ish.
Yeah, you can actually, what is it? You can set it up to look like, not like XP. There are three different ways. There's Windows 7. Maybe it has a Windows XP. I can't remember. But there are three different ways that you can make it look like three different themes. And one of them is Windows 7, and it looks just like Windows 7. The desktop, that is, yeah.
You still get the silly charms bar if you swipe from the right with your mouse from the edge of the screen, or if you've got one of these trackpad things on your laptop, you still get the charms bar, which is annoying.
Gene is right. I misspoke. It's not Stardate. It's Classic Shell that has those 3. It's called Classic Shell. I don't know. Maybe I remember Start8 using Start8, but I don't know if it has the different looks.
You got me thinking now if it's Start8 or Classic Shell.
The Classic Shell.
It is Classic Shell that I've got installed. Yeah, not Start8.
Yeah,
you confused me, Amnon.
The Start button looks like the Shell oil company. It looks like a shell from the beach.
Like a scallop.
Classic Shell, yeah. It's great. Works really nice.
Has anybody been using the preview of Windows 10 yet in the chat, or if either yourself or Amnon has been using Windows 10 yet in test mode?
I have not. I've been
tempted.
I wait a long time after an operating system comes out before I use it, and I wish I had the time to play around to just testing.
I do too. I don't do updates straight away. I usually wait 2 or 3 days, and then I'll do an update just in case there is a problem. But I think it'd be interesting. I need another SSD drive to put it on, because I don't want to put it on a spinning drive. It's just going to be too slow on my machines. But it would be interesting to give it a try and see what all the fuss and kerfuffle is about.
I was reading a story that there's already they're talking about the next version of Windows after 10, and what they call it, Redstone, something like that. The code name.
Oh yes, the preview name. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're already working on the Windows after Windows 10, and it's not even out yet.
And well, by true to form, it's bound to be rubbish like the last every other one seems to be.
No.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Oh, Steve. It's all right. It's okay.
There's one blog we have over here in England. It's Tech Eye, I think it's called. It's typically British the way it's written, with a sort of dry sense of humour. And they refuse to call Windows 10 Windows 10. They're continuing to call it Windows 9, which I think is really a poke in the ribs.
And in the chat, Arnie's answered your question.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I need to get another SSD. I'm thinking about getting one of those Western Digital black drives that's got the 120 gigabyte SSD and the 1 terabyte spinning drive. I think that'll be an ideal drive to get.
One of those hybrid ones, yeah.
Yeah. Have to wait for one to go on sale. The Chinese are going to be happy, aren't they? They're going to get Windows 10 for free, whether they've got a legitimate version or not.
Okay, I'll bite. How's that?
Didn't you see the reports?
No.
Microsoft said that in order for them to try and get back market share, which they haven't got, I mean, they haven't even tried really, the vast majority of Windows in China is a copied version or a cracked version, whatever. But they're going to be giving, in Asia, they'll be giving Windows 10 to all users, whether it's legitimate or not.
I thought they're going to do... Oh, I see.
And then they'll hope that because they've been using it, then they'll pay for a subscription or whatever it's going to be once they finally decide what they're going to do, whether it's going to be a subscription model or a paid.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they will get some market share, but at the moment it's atrocious. Everybody copies everything in China.
Yep, they have one legit copy that they keep in the museum, and then everybody else's copy.
And then they've got 47 DVD burners in the cellar.
People just come and get their copy. That's the way it works there.
It's scary. I go online regularly every week, most nights each week, and try and help a big group of Chinese people to improve their English, oral English mainly, and not one of them has a legitimate copy of Windows. They all have a pirated copy, and they buy it like that. They go to the computer store, and it's bought like that, and they know they're doing it, and they know it's a copyrighted thing. They just don't care. Madness.
Gene is saying, have you noticed that every other Windows version is a bummer? They can't get two in a row right. Yep.
We'll have to wait and see. You can't count your chickens before they hatch, but yeah, from past experience, I'd have to agree.
All right. I'll be lying if I would say that I don't have things to do around the house today, that I'll be happy to get out of here half an hour earlier. So unless there's something anybody wants to talk about.
I'm late on catching up with my RSS feeds this week, so I don't have anything other than a couple of bits that it looked like you already had, Amnon. So
Okay.
maybe next week I'll have a few more bits and pieces to talk about.
All right, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. All right. So let's wrap it up.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Jason, thanks.
No problem. Glad to be here.
I'll talk to you.
Yep.
And good morning, Kath. Oh, wait a second. Guys, wait a second.
What?
Look at the views. I know it. 1 million. What is it? 1,001,484. We passed the 1 million view. Where are all these people? All these people, I have no idea.
Well, excellent. That's good. That's a huge milestone to pass.
Yep, it is. All right.
You're going to be celebrating tonight? It's a good excuse as any.
Anyway. Congratulations, Computers 2K Now.
Yeah, congratulations.
Good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update that virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. While you're at it, like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tune in today at 1 o'clock for Brunch with Gisela. And at 8 o'clock tonight, it is the Tanya Love Show. Talk to you later.
Kirk out.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and Delta Force.